we are going to be doing an easy fun fold, pretty much. I think it's pretty on the easy side. Really, really cute. And we're going to be talking all about, let me get this out. So here's our mini catalog, January to June 2022, Stampin' Up. And then here we go. Hey Sports Fans. So this is the suite for Hey Sports Fan that we're going to be working with. The only thing I'm not using in the suite are the baker's twine. It's so cute. You could definitely incorporate it. I just didn't use it on these cards. But we'll be using everything else. We'll be using the resin stars. We'll be using the bundle. We'll be using the papers. It's really, really cute. And we'll be using the coordinating colors. So yes. Okay. So let's get into this let me just go ahead and get officially started. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. You can find all of the information about me, shopping, all the tutorials and everything on my blog at stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. If you are not already on my email list, I highly recommend you sign up if you're interested in crafting tutorials or anytime I announce classes or events or new products from Stampin' Up. I will be doing something called Countdown to Spring in March. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's going to be the first place where people are going to be hearing from me about my upcoming classes. So here we go. Here's what we're going to be using. So we're talking about Hey Sports Fans. So I don't know if I mentioned this a moment ago, but it is on low inventory. So the suite, meaning everything that's on this page, is on low inventory, and these items are on low inventory. So if that is something that you've had your eye on and you want to get it, I would not wait. These are the cards that we're going to be making tonight. So we're not going to make all four again. I'll go through and make one on the live. It's the same card layout, all the same products, just the different combinations. So here is the Evening Evergreen version. So super cute, just nice and simple. I think that this is a great one, whether you're making this for girls or guys. Here is the Poppy Parade version. And I love these die cut tickets. Oh my gosh, are they cute? And then you can actually, they do that perforation there, so you can actually rip them like tickets, which I just think makes them look even cuter. Here is the Bumblebee and Night of Navy version. And then, of course, you could put whatever you want on the inside. I almost wanted to put more paper on the inside. I didn't do it, but you certainly could. So there's that one. And then we have this one here, which I had folded wrong. Sorry about that. So here's our Night of Navy version. Now, the one thing that I will note is that I used basic white on the inside, and I'm wondering if Very Vanilla would have been a better choice for these particular cards. Like you can see here, there's a lot of that Very Vanilla here. So that might have been the better choice, but I went with basic white because I have a lot of pieces pre-cut at this size. But we'll go over card measurements and everything like that. I'll have all of the information about these cards up on the blog tomorrow, but we're going to go over some of the product too. Hi Susan, how are you? So the Designer Series paper is fabulous, and the Designer Series paper ends up making die cut pieces as well. And we're going to go over that. I've used this once before and I still haven't used it to its full potential, but this is a really good way to get a look at the papers and all of that lovely stuff. So let me just show this to you. Okay. So here, this is what I have left of this one sheet, but let me just show you. So we can actually use the dies to cut out these pieces. Trying to reach over for my dies. Let's see. Oops. I lost a die. We'll get it back. I have my little craft cart next to me over there. That's where my Stampin' Die Cut and Emboss machine lives, or my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I should say, whenever I'm not on camera. Okay, so the dies that we're looking for here in particular are the ticket and this double looking ticket. This really large ticket die doesn't cut any of these particular pieces out. I mean, you could cut, you know, your own version out if you want to, but these fit perfectly. Hello, my aunt is here, my namesake. Okay, so here you can see when we put this down, just like that, or if we put this piece down here, it literally cuts it out perfectly, and you get these pieces here. So we're going to go ahead and make a card using pieces from this paper. The other thing that I wanted to point out, we'll go through these papers while we're talking about it, but you can just see here how fabulous the patterns and the colors are. This one is so cool. Love that. This one, I could make an American flag with that. That is just so beautiful. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind for when our patriotic holidays are coming up. We could definitely use this for more than one occasion. If you love the antique look, you could even save some of these papers and use it for Christmas. It has like a really cool vintage worn look to it. Okay, so here we have this baseball and bat pattern, and I was thinking it would be cool to even color these in with the Stampin' Blends and kind of make that bat stand out even more. Same with this. You could do that too. Like you could add a pop of color here, either on the helmet or on their protective gear there. I don't know what you would officially call that. Catchers something or other. This is so cool. I love this card. So I did use this pattern on this one. Love that. Did I show you guys the other side? Oh, so here's the other pattern that also cuts out. So here with this flag die, this will cut this piece out as well. Okay, so I didn't use any of the flags on these particular cards, but you could just swap that out for the ticket if you would want to. And I was thinking, if you guys make like cake pops, or if you have toothpicks or anything that could resemble like a pole, and you want that like dimensional feel on it, you could pop it like right behind the flag, I thought, or the banner. I thought that would be really cute. Okay, remind me to keep that piece on top because we're gonna have to cut some of those pieces out. And then I think we're in repeat mode now. I think there's a few more sheets at the end here. This was the one I did not show you yet. So we have these like home base or the baseball bases, and I love this pattern too. This is one that I did not get to use, so I was thinking maybe we could do this on the live. You guys can let me know what you think about that too. I was going to make another evening evergreen card. Okay, so let me just set this over here for a second. For the sentiments, I tried to use a bunch of the different sentiments. So we have Most Valuable Dad on this one. We have Hooray here. We have Happy Father's Day on this one. And we have, let's see, Happy Birthday for this version. And of course, all of the tickets and everything that you have on the papers that you can use to cut out can also be the sentiment, you know, hey there, and there's a bunch of different ones on here that were really cute, like You're Out of This League. These two alone could be their own sentiment, Best Day Ever. So you definitely have some choices there. Now, in terms of the dies, I didn't get a chance to cut every single die out, but I did cut a bunch. So let me see if I can show these to you before we get into this. Now, this is a stitched rectangle die. This is from a different set of dies, but I just wanted to show that it fits inside the ticket if you're looking to layer. You probably have some dies on hand that would work with that one. Okay, so let me grab some die cut pieces. Okay, so here, this piece here is meant to go at the end of the flag. Okay, so that's for either our large flag stamp or for the die cut flag, just depending on what you're doing. So that's this piece here. The string of tickets, it actually cuts in, and it also puts the perforations in between the tickets. All of the ticket ones do that. So all of the tickets have that stitching that goes into the actual, like the details of the ticket when you cut it. So for example, it's kind of hard to see, but on this one, you can see the stitching that was added when it was die cut. This stitching was added when it was die cut. So it's really cute with the way it adds details. Now this die, you get kind of like a 2-for-1 type of deal, because you get this little medallion that says number 1, but you also get the number sign and the 1 out of it too, which, let me see if I can show you. Okay, and then we have the smaller banner flag here, and I think that might be the die that I lost. So there's like a large banner or a large flag die, and there's a small one. So this one goes to the small one. And then here's our number 1. So if you want to do this in 2 colors and layer it in, this was something that I had done on a previous card. I just thought that was so cute. Okay, so you definitely have options with this, pretty versatile. Yeah, so, and then you can cut out the smaller, you know, you can cut out all of the tickets without cutting out the designer series paper, because that's consumable. So of course we'll run out of that at some point, but you'll always be able to cut your own tickets. And of course, whatever your team is that you celebrate, if it's different colors than what's on the designer series paper, if you have the stamp set and the dies, you can make whatever you want. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make a card. So let me go with the evening evergreen. So what you're going to do is you're going to take an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and you're going to cut it in half. So you would go to the 4 1/4 mark. Because I already made one card, I have a piece here. So we're going to leave it at 4 1/4 by 11, which is what this is. And then I'm going to pull this arm out. And for our fun fold, we're going to trim off, let's see, 1 3/4 inches. And this is going to become that little fun fold piece that gets attached here. Okay, so we'll save that. And then we're going to score this at 1 7/8 on each end. So we're going to go into score mode now, and we'll score this side, and we will score this side at the same exact place. So 1 7/8 on both sides. Okay. And so we just fold these pieces in, and then depending on whether you want it either vertical like this or horizontal like this, the pattern of the paper can help you determine that too, but they both look really cute. And then we'll have our overlay piece. So now we need those pieces of designer series paper that are going to coordinate with our card. And we're also going to need our card base piece. And I think for the one that I'm going to do here on the video with all of you, I am going to use Very Vanilla just to switch it out, and you guys can decide which one you like better. I should have done that earlier, but it's okay. I'm so used to using basic white. Okay. All right, so let me get a piece of Very Vanilla, and we'll cut this while we're talking about it. I need to order more of this. I'm getting really low. Okay. So we're going to also cut some of this to 4. Whoop. Sorry guys, hang on just one second. Okay, so 4 by 5 1/4. So that's still sort of my standard size, but just a different way of folding it. Will still fit in your medium size envelopes. Okay. So here is, I'm loving the way that this looks already. Absolutely love it. I don't use this color enough. Okay, so let me know in the comments, do you guys use your Very Vanilla a lot? So here we go. We'll have that insert piece. And now let's cut some of our designer series paper. And I'm thinking about using that striped pattern. Let me show you this. So one of the ways that I like to figure out what I'm doing, like when I put this on, it looks really cute. Like it's really nice. But for me, I like to have some contrast between my layers. So I would either add a very vanilla layer to this, or I would use something lighter. Okay, so I like the look of that better, but I'm trying to stay like tone on tone here. So I'm going to do the coordinating paper piece. So I was thinking about using this, but you know what? Now that I'm looking at the lines, I realize it's Night of Navy. This was the side that was the green. So you know what? No problem. We'll just switch it out to navy. Let me just correct myself there. Now, in terms of the lines of your paper and which way you want it to go on your card is entirely up to you. And the way that I did this was I just kind of took a look at, you know, my coordinating piece and which way I wanted my card layout to go. So we'll cut one out together. Let's see if I can find this pattern one more time. Here we go. So just depending on which one you would want yours to be, and you could use any color that you would like. I'm trying to match the Night of Navy colors. That would determine it. So of course, this way we would do the horizontal, this way we would do the vertical. So I think what I'm going to do is cut it this way. So we're going to go to 1 5/8. We're going to cut all the way down. The beauty about it being a 12 by 12 piece of paper is that we can just cut it in 3 pieces. So we're going to do 1 5/8 by 4, and we're going to do that 3 times. So 1, go to the 4-inch mark again, 2, and then our third one's going to come out at 4 inches. For our third one, we're going to cut it slightly smaller so that it fits this piece here. And you could leave it just like this, but I'm going to cut it down to 1 1/2. So I'm just going to take that little piece away. Okay. Now the other thing that we want to do, let me see if I have a smaller piece of paper that still has the die cut pieces. I used a good amount of it. Here it is. So just taking a look at what I have left, I don't have that big piece of Night of Navy. So I am going to cut it from the full sheet. So when I am going to take a piece of paper like this, and I'm going to cut this all into die cuts. If you're going to cut the whole sheet, that's fine. If you just want to do a section, I will try to find a good place where I can section this out. And I usually just trim it out and then I put it in my die cut machine. Sorry about that. You're going to want it to be less than, I think it's like 6.5 inches maybe. So I'm just going to go right in here. I'm just going to trim this paper. We're going to go here. And you can cut it either in smaller sections or in larger sections depending. The dies that cut out these tickets, they fit really snugly. So that is really, really nice. And then we could keep going if we want to. So let me just section this piece too. Okay, so we kind of have it like half and half at this point. So I'm going to set that over here. Now, I absolutely love the opposite piece. This is like that night of navy sort of wood grain. I love anything wood grain. So I know I'm not going to use the entire sheet for die cuts. I'm going to save some of this for layers. And I did use it for layering on my bumblebee card. And I love it. I just think it looks so fabulous. But totally up to you how you want to do that. So this is going to fit through the die cut machine, no problem. This one is still a little too big. So I want to trim this down a little bit more. And then I just, when I do cut this up, I just kind of cut it up into sections that way. And you guys can let me know in the comments if you like cutting these up in any particular way or order, but that's pretty much how I do it. What I'm going to do, I'm aiming for this piece here. So I'm going to go in. Now this is one of those deals that I would definitely try to get, you know, 2-for-1 run through. And I'm going to use both of these ticket pieces to cut out. So I'm just going to set this. I'm hoping you guys can see that. Okay, I think so. Okay, so we're just going to line this up right here with this tag. I'm going to line this piece up right over here. If you use anything to hold it or tape it down, go for it. I love, love, love when dies cut out paper. Just does a lot of the work for you. And we don't have to worry about some of the details, you know. Okay, so here we have our play ball and our home run. So I'm just going to set those aside. I'm not necessarily going to use that home run. I just wanted to cut as many pieces out as I could during one pass through. Okay, so we're going to get our card base here. And I'm going to get my bone folder and just kind of get these score lines flat. I'm going to use my glue to attach these pieces. I love the aging on this. I just love the detail on this paper. Okay. We're just going to put this down. All right, and then that looks pretty straight. So we're just going to pop down the other one. Whoop. Just going to try to make sure that they are lined up as evenly as I can. All right, now before we glue down the inside panel, we're going to do our positioning and our stamping. So this is the very vanilla piece that's going in here. All right, and you could do this a couple of ways. So if we're going to do it the horizontal way, we could go high or low. Okay, so I went low on this card. So let's go high on the other card. We could just do play ball. And then we would pick our inside sentiment piece here. So for the inside piece, you can choose which stamp you would want. Let's go through and see. I don't want to do the large one. This is phenomenal. I mean, I love this stamp. But we want to be able to see the whole thing. So I'm going to go for one of the smaller ones. And I haven't used You're Amazing yet, so let's do that one. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so you may want to have your foam pad down when you're stamping, if that matters to you. Okay. All right. So we're just going to kind of get our layout. I like the way the inside is looking. So now I'm just going to get my Night of Navy ink. I need to re-ink that. I was looking for my re-inker. I found my early espresso, but now my Night of Navy is missing, and I guarantee you that's because I didn't put it back where it belongs. All right, so I'm just going to try to stamp that straight. Let's see how I do. Pretty good. All right. And now let's glue these pieces down. Okay. There's that piece. We're going to put that on with some dimensionals, but let's get this piece down now. All right, hopefully my positioning is about the same. Yeah, that looks good. And we're going to adhere one side. So we're going to adhere the to the left side panel here. So I'm going to be careful where I'm putting my adhesive. I'm going to try to keep it so that it doesn't overlap. And that just means when you're putting it on there that it doesn't stick to the card. You don't want it to stick to the open part there. Okay, so let me just try to get this looking even. I think that's pretty good. I could measure, right? Okay, so we don't have any glue sticking out there, which is what we want. So I'm just going to press that down. Now for this piece, I thought it would be fun to put it up on dimensionals. So we'll pop this one up. Getting to the end of my pack. I feel like every time I do a Facebook Live, I'm at the end of a pack. Make a lot of cards. Okay, so we'll do one more strip over here. Sticking to me. All right, and then you can center this however would work for you. I'm just going to leave this piece here, but you could always rearrange it if you want to. So I think that looks good. And then what I was doing on my cards, where I was adding the stars, I would do the stars in the opposite color. So all I'm going to do is add some stars to either side, and I'm going to do that in red. So let's see if I can do one over here and one over here. Okay. Here are our finished cards. So here is card number 1. Here is card number 2. These are relatively simple. Card number 3. That's our evening evergreen. So Night of Navy, Poppy Parade, evening evergreen. Here's our bumblebee. And here is the Night of Navy. So, and let me just show you the difference between the very vanilla background and the basic white. You can definitely see the difference. I think this is by far the better match. But just, you know, use what you have or use whatever you prefer. I think it looks great. Thank you all again. And I will be back with you on Thursday.